All right, let's move on because last night was the Miss USA competition and Miss Nebraska Sarah Rose Summers took the top prize, but everyone is talking about the show's efforts to stay relevant during the Me Too era by airing this segment during the show. Check it out.
Have you ever had a Me Too moment?
Yes.
Yes.
Sadly, yes.
I've never really brought it up within an interview. I was very young.
At 18, I was held down and publicly sexually assaulted by 2 of my coworkers at a children's camp.
Oh, God.
It's so disturbing in so many levels. I don't know about you guys. I am really conflicted by this. That was an incredibly moving montage of the girls. I appreciate that they spoke to it. I think it's important, of course, with the Me Too movement. However, the dichotomy of girls strutting in bikinis with high heels and then wanting to capitalize, which is really what I feel the show did instead of just honor the Me Too movement. I kind of feel like they were capitalizing on it.
See, I totally disagree with you.
That's a good take.
It's an interesting take, but here's the thing. I think a lot of people think of sexual assault victims as these victims that are recluses and they suffer.
No,
I do, honestly, and I think it takes a big step for the big girls, the popular girls to say, hey, this happens to me too, no pun intended. I think it was a great step forward, and I don't have a problem with the bikini. I think if they are feminists and want to show off their body and they're physically able and fit, why not?
No, because I have so much to say on this, and I don't want to get so you go.
No, I think this is ultimately the reason why I don't identify and call myself a feminist, because I think that there's such a spectrum of what people feel feminism is or being a feminist is, especially when we have the conversations of we took so long to come away from what she was wearing as a part of the narrative of the conversation of sexual assault. And the moment that we have this situation where these young girls, some of whom are teenagers, are saying to everyone, I am the victim of a sexual assault, which means that they are speaking to not only the people in that room, but every single girl that's out there or boy that's listening and can say, #Me Too.
Yep.
So I don't really want to extrapolate like what it comes down to in terms of them wearing a bikini. It's a competition. We all understand what the nature of
they know what
these
it is.
Girls go on to become models. They come on to be actresses. They go on to do all of these things in Hollywood, and that's all fine and dandy. But the moment that they want to have a true conversation about their own personal experiences, we have a problem with it and we want to nitpick it. I just don't think that it does a service to any victim in any capacity.
How about, and I agree with what you're saying, how about this, just to throw this out there, and I know you just said that. What if they did take away the bikini competition? Would you be okay then with the Miss America pageant?
No, I think that they are separate things. You don't need to, yes, these women deserve an incredible platform to be able to speak their truth. Look, there's not one pretty woman in the world who hasn't been harassed at some point in her life. So yes, it is great, like you said, Tori, that the popular girls speak to it, yes. However, you can't have it both ways. I have 2 little girls, and I fear for my girls and the girls of the generation that is coming up. I go to the mall, and I see girls with short cutoffs where you can see really practically their private parts with their tush hanging out. I don't want my girls walking around like that. If the difference,
I don't think it matters what they wear.
It does.
Yes,
I do not think it matters. I disagree with you.
But you know what?
You could be walking around naked and you don't deserve sexual assault.
No, you're right. Not for sexual assault, but I get what you're saying. I wouldn't want my daughter dressed like that.
Here's what
And
because it's
no,
don't
cross the sexual assault. I'm just saying, class-wise, I would never let my daughter wear something like that.
Well, that's what it is. But here's what it is. If we're going to keep these competitions around, we need to promote body positivity. That means, what is your best body? Get rid of the bikini competitions. I love that Miss America is so much more about scholarship and education, articulation, talent. The message is to our daughters of what they can be capable of doing. We have to find our best body. And in these types of things where they're strutting around, they don't need to be in a bikini, because maybe their best body part, their best feature isn't their stomach. Maybe their best body part isn't their thighs. So then let's switch to workout gear. You can tell if they're fit. If this is truly about fitness, which is what the argument is that I'm hearing here, then the truth is, let's go in fitness gear. If your legs are your best part, your best feature, wear little short.
But you're bringing it down to clothing again. It all comes back to what did they wear. I hear what you're saying.
It's not about that. You're taking that out of context.
But let me just say that it takes a certain type of survivor to admit, I am the victim of a sexual assault and I still own my body as my own.
Yeah, I agree.
And I can do whatever and express myself in whatever way I deem fit. And sometimes that's the most empowering thing you can do as a victim of sexual assault. So I'm not going to bag on these girls, and I'm not going to say that they shouldn't be in bikinis after they've worked so hard for that element.
I'm not bagging on the girls. I'm bagging on the production team. That's what I've got to say.
Great conversation, guys, from all of you. Thank you, guys.